Hello everyone, Dark Spider David here, and yes, you are watching an unboxing video with a 2-cam setup, just to kind of make things a little bit interesting. And that's because we have a very interesting unboxing for you. That's going to be for the Cyberpunk 2077 limited edition Xbox One X console. This is unfortunately one of the biggest casualties as of late to fall prey to the scalpers out there, because this was kind of subtly released by various retailers, namely Amazon and Best Buy. And this was a brand new Xbox One X console that was being set to release to kind of lead up into the worldwide release of Cyberpunk 2077, and it did sell out like ASAP, but thankfully I was just keeping track of the alerts for when this was back in stock, and miraculously, and I really do mean miraculously, I was able to sneak in a order, especially when this was actually going for $2.99 to commemorate the Xbox One X release. And Best Buy was doing a sale where they slashed off an extra $100. Various One X bundles were being sold for $2.99, including this version, and I was actually able to sneak in an order, and now it's finally here. So let's unbox it. So we have Xbox One X, and as you can see, it's all in that yellow and black aesthetic that they're going for when it comes to their color palette. So you can kind of see right here at the front, we have our main male version of the character V. So you can see right there, of course, Xbox One X here in the top corner, an image promoting the actual console design there on the far right. And to be honest, nothing much more going on in the back, because you have the identical image right there. And then over on the side, on one side, you have a quick little add-on illustration kind of indicating what's inside, which is the limited edition console, the controller, and a digital download of the game when it does release. On the other side, you pretty much have a similar breakdown, except it's much more in text format, so you don't really have anything that much interesting going on there, except for the added features and benefits you get for getting the One X version of the console, which is of course 4K Blu-ray player capabilities, teraflops, most powerful console out there, terabyte hard drive, etc., etc. So that's really about it when it comes to the box. Nothing really going on the top, except right there you can kind of see the gray color palette with Xbox One X, another image of the console, and then of course nothing on the bottom except your usual UPCs, fine print, and all in that green Xbox One X pattern. So let's go ahead and remove the sleeve, because apparently it's actually being held together by a sleeve. There we go. I know that the Series X is just around the corner, but $2.99, and you get the One X, which is also pretty much a Blu-ray player. You get the more powerful console. You also get Cyberpunk 2077 for free digitally when the game comes out, and the first batch of DLC that they'll release within the coming months of the game's release after November. All for, again, the deal price of $2.99. It's a little hard to say no to something like that, all right? So let's remove the sleeve and let's see what's awaiting inside. Ooh, okay. So taking the sleeve off gives us an alternate design to the box. So let me kind of flip it around, and you can see right there, it just has in big yellow letters Cyberpunk 2077. So that's looking mighty nice right there. But now, instead of having a more corporate feel, it has more of that retributive look to the samurai collective. I don't know what they are, rebels or something like that, but it's kind of have that graffiti looking design that's a bit more robust. Similar thing going on over here, except instead of having the logo, it has another image of the console itself. And then not much else on the sides, except you get a side image of the console there with the logo, and then the exact same breakdown of what kind of benefits and features you get with the Xbox One X, only this time in yellow. And there you have it. So let's open the box itself. Ooh, okay, this is kind of neat. Actually, I kind of want to show this off. So when you first open the box, you actually get the in flap with the logo, kind of giving that little bit of a premium look and feel to the entire box, so I can undoubtedly respect that. I really appreciate that. You get a cardboard kind of insert at the very, very top. I'm just gonna imagine that this is actually your downloadable content. So on the top here, you have a little insert. Okay, so it's a little insert with the Cyberpunk 2077 graphic right there. And then on the back, you have some fine print with the Microsoft logo, the M rating, and then it says Digital Direct. Your digital content will be delivered directly to your console during setup. No codes required. So that's kind of something that they're trying to separate themselves from other consoles, is that they have something called Digital Direct. Digital Direct means that it's a glorified way of saying it's pre-installed. So it says during a console during setup, no codes required. All included digital content will be attached to the first Microsoft account that redeems it. I only have one, so that should make it easy. Xbox.com/Digital Direct, and then the exact same thing, only in French, I believe. Yeah, it's French. So, you know, kind of giving that premium feel inside of this insert, and I think we get the exact same thing here. And no, it's another graphic, but it doesn't have. It's virtually the same thing. Why did we get two? That's really weird. I guess in case you lose one. Game release September 17, 2020. That's obviously not the case. Then you get another insert, and it doesn't look like it has a code either, but it's one to say your membership is available on your console via Digital Direct. Again, no digital codes, which makes my life or my job editing this video a little easier, because now I don't have to blur out anything. But basically, it's another little graphic, only this one indicating that along with the console and the game and the DLC, you also get 1 month of Game Pass for free. I never seen a console box do this sort of thing. Again, I don't know if this is a thing that every 1X does, but pretty interesting, pretty cool. There's a little mini box before we get to the console. I'm imagining that. Ooh, okay. So I'm liking that we're getting kind of like thematic with the whole Cyberpunk deal, because we get a little box. See if you can see it right there. Little box, but it has some graffiti, and along with that metallic look, and then on the back it says Samurai right there. So that's pretty interesting. Let's see what's inside. I'm imagining that we're only gonna get the rudimentary stuff that you normally get with an Xbox One X. Oh, there we go. It opens up as a flap, and inside, oh, okay, I know what this is. Alright, so the box is actually taking up quite a bit of space, because the only thing truly occupying it is something that I didn't know came with this thing until the very last moment, is actually the vertical stand with the Xbox One X, so you can stand it up. I gotta be honest, this is probably the first thing I see Xbox actually have a genuine leg up on PlayStation, because with PlayStation you still have to buy it separately. Xbox One X is actually throwing in the vertical stand. They figure, you know what, you're already purchasing a shit ton and spending quite a bit of money with the most powerful console. Least we can do is throw in a piece of plastic so that you can hold this thing up on your own. So, okay, I can respect that. I really can. I see the console itself, but before we get there, we have yet another thumb box off to the side. Now this one I can already tell is going to be all of your cables and peripherals, etc., to power the most powerful console. This one, once more, keeping true to the Cyberpunk theme, you have a samurai red logo there with some graffiti art on the back, so that's pretty cool. We have two holes here that lift up the tabs, and on the inside you have your power cord with the polarized cable. Throw that back in there just in case. I'm digging the premium feel to the box, so that's pretty awesome. I open this up, and we get the HDMI cord. I gotta be honest, not a fan of the color. It makes sense of the color being this because of the whole cybernetics, the neon lights, etc. Not personally my favorite color. I kind of wish they would have gone with maybe the dark burgundy red that the Samurai logo has, but I digress. That's pretty much what the HDMI cable thrown in looks like, so that's pretty peculiar, but screw it, I'll take it. The fact that they're throwing in an HDMI cable period is enough. And then in here we get the limited edition Cyberpunk 2077 Xbox One controller. Now, spoiler alert, I've actually already held this controller in my hands before, and then we have the battery pack on the inside, so I'll just keep that in there. Remove the box so that we can take a look at this controller. So, the controller. It is missing a little bit of weight, only because I don't have the batteries put in, but I've actually already tried holding this controller, and it actually feels really, really nice. I mean, it's your typical Xbox One controller with a couple of refinements to just kind of give it that pristine look, of course tying in with the theme of Cyberpunk 2077. I'm not a huge fan of the cut here in the middle to separate the two color palettes, at least for the cut itself, but I at least like that the palettes are intact. So you have a little bit of the red, the dark gray, and then the silver platinum, obviously to kind of keep consistent with Johnny Silverhand, played by Keanu Reeves in the game.
You're breathtaking!
Looking forward to his introduction in the story. So the overall feel of the controller is actually pretty nice because I love the texture grips around the joysticks themselves, how they feel, but more importantly, what gives it that really premium feel are texture grips here on the back of the controller right there. And that's what really sells the controller for me. The triggers themselves, they feel like any other Xbox One controller. They also smoothed out a little bit of the jaggedness going on right here with the top, so it doesn't feel like it's, you know, completely, you know, hampered down, and it's actually smoothed over with the Xbox button right there. Overall, very satisfied with the dark red and dark gray here on the triggers themselves. It feels really, actually really, really nice. I'll just say that, again, the separation here I'm not a huge fan of, and even though it's part of the theme, it's part of the design, I'm not a huge fan of how they made it seem like it's chipping away right there, because it actually looks like they chipped away the paint. Like, it actually, you know, it makes me do a double take, because I'm like, did I already scrape off the paint? But that's actually part of the design. I don't know, there's something kind of tacky looking about that chipping right there. It's just my own personal bias, but otherwise, really good feel for the controller. I like the, you know, how it fits in, and the texture grips is really what does it in for me for this controller, that I'm like, you know what, yes, when the game comes out, I'll be playing it with this. And now, the pier de resistance, because I don't think that there's anything else inside the box. Yeah, that's really about it. Okay, here we go. This is why this thing is so goddamn heavy. Let me just make sure we don't do anything here. Okay. Bam. Styrofoam coming off. It's funny because it's super heavy, but it's not even that big. It's still even smaller than the original Xbox One from 2013. Come on. Oh, okay. I can already smell the plastic. That nice, brand new plastic. There we go. So here we have the Cyberpunk. God damn, it's still very heavy. 2077 limited edition Xbox One X console. There it is. It's funny because part of my OCD is bugged by the fusion of two styles, but at the same time, thematically makes sense. So on one side, you have what's dubbed as the more corporate side, from the company. I can't remember what the company's name is, but it's the company, actually, Strong Magnetic. Okay, no, never mind. I thought it was the company's name etched right here on the front. But it's the company that's responsible for getting people hooked on cybernetic augmentations. And this is overall their theme color palette. So you got a little bit of blue, most of the yellow that you see in the original artwork and marketing for the game, as well as some chippings of metal and gray and silver, etc., with a little bit of that cyberpunk look that's kind of taken from the 80s a little bit. In fact, often this kind of, mesh of design reminds me an awful lot of like video cassette players and Walkmans from the 1980s from like Sony and Philips and different companies like that. But then when you flip it around, actually pick it up a little bit and rotate it, you have the Samurai Rebellion design with the No Future graffiti etched here on the top, and then the Samurai logo with the Samurai red mask sprayed on, quote unquote, right there. And it's funny because The vents for ventilation on the top and the side here are doing a pretty good job at selling that very mechanical cyberpunk look. You know, it's done by accident because every Xbox One X console comes with this sort of layout, but it does a better job of selling the concept with this look right here. The design here on top is not just a spray on, it's actually graphed onto the top, and graphed and etched out into the top of the console. So we do have a corporate name actually here on the corner. It says Seocho Electronics. They're the ones responsible for this. So this is a very, very, very fine looking console. And what I can definitely appreciate is that it has the option of being either laid down like so, like any other Xbox One X console, or we can take the stand that was included, snapped in, finally got a snap feel, flushed in look. There we have it. So one thing that I want to do before closing out this video is that apparently the look of the console is not the only thing that was customized specifically for this version of the Xbox One X console. We're going to power this bad boy up and see not only just what it looks like, but also what it sounds like. Also, while I unravel this, let's give a big hand to Xbox for finally getting rid of that goddamn power break. Oh my god, that is a miracle unto itself. So obviously it's going to be the Xbox button. So let me just turn it around just in case anything shows up as far as lights are concerned. Let me do this. Okay. Alright. That was pretty dope. I'll try to get myself another like sample of that sound effect you just heard, but it powers on and whew, I'm already starting to get a little bit of the ventilation going on here in the back. But it powers on. I don't know if there's any like custom lights or anything except the front. You have that little blue LED light next to the Xbox One logo being lit up. So nothing going on as far as like a light show, but when you turn it on, instead of hearing the usual ding, you hear like a little cybernetic electrical surge kind of roaming through the console itself before finally the optical drive on the inside starts kicking in. So that's pretty dope. So there you have it, the Xbox One X limited edition Cyberpunk 2077 console, complete with the limited edition controller as well. Very happy to own it, and now I don't have to be switching back and forth between my Xbox One and a 4K player, because now I can finally pack these two things back in their boxes. The Xbox One X is probably going to be a hand-me-down for someone, and the 4K player as a backup, in the event that I need like a 4K player in another room once I move in, the whole shebang. Having this now means that I officially have native 4K play, and being that they are technically throwing in the game with this console means that there's a very good chance that come November 19th, 2020, we will play Cyberpunk 2077 on this console. On top of that, they confirmed that free next-gen upgrades are coming to both the PS5 and Xbox Series X. So technically, when that console kind of comes around here in the household, I will then give a second playthrough of Cyberpunk should I find the time, only this time with the next-gen graphics. So there you have it, guys. Hope you enjoyed the video. Hit the thumbs up if you liked it, thumbs down if you didn't. Comment, like, share. I already said that. And that is it for me in this unboxing. Take care, guys. Hope to see you all either on the next video or over on my twitch.tv channel, where I'll be playing many other video games, including Cyberpunk when that releases. Twitch.tv/DarkSpiderDavid. Links are in the description. Hope to see some of you guys there. Otherwise, I'll see you on the next one. Take care.